Eleanor, Heather, Greg, I know I'm going to leave somebody out, but they all gave me a brilliant welcome on Monday morning when I arrived in, a little bit nervous on how it was all going to come together. And Don and Donal for helping with the hanging, and Michael, was it? Yes. And Colm for today and this evening. I'm going to leave somebody out, I'm sorry. I suppose just to give a bit of context, and for those of you that don't know me, so the work came from when I was born. I had 2 haemangiomas, which are benign vascular birthmarks, and one was on the right hand side of my face and one was here on my lip. And I spent a lot of time going back and forth to London in my childhood up until I was about 15 or 16. And if you roll on fastly to 2020, my mum was moving from our childhood home into a granny flat next door. And I walked into the kitchen one day, I was helping her clear out stuff, and I walked into the kitchen and she had this pile of letters and photographs that I had never seen, that had been going back and forth from London on my treatment and how they were managing the haemangiomas. And I suppose that led me down a bit of a rabbit hole. And at the same time, because she was downsizing, I became the custodian of the family photos. So I am the youngest of 7 children, so there was a lot of family trips to Ballybunion and just various photos, I suppose, of all of us, as well as ones that went back as far as when my mum and her siblings were babies. So I used those 2 resources, I suppose, as a diving board to start looking into childhood and memory and the impact of, the haemangiomas and the psychological impact of trauma, but then actually balancing it with, the fun bits of childhood, I suppose, the bits of childhood that helped me process all that was going on. And that all, where's my notes gone? I suppose for me, yes, it is a very personal story, but I'm a great believer in art. All art starts conversations, and that the personal is really universal. So even though they're very personal to me, I hope that there are bits of the work that resonate with you as well as the audience. So now I'm going to welcome and introduce this lovely person here beside me, the wonderful Mary Sullivan. So I had a big ask in asking Mary to come all the way up from West Cork to open the exhibition for me. Mary I have known since 2014 when we both started our BA in Visual Art on Sherkin. And we all knew Mary was something wonderful on Sherkin. But I suppose she proved that in 2018 with her graduate work, is in that she won the RDS Taylor Award, the Visual Arts Award, with her graduate show. So for any of you that don't know what that is, that's a big deal. And then since then she's exhibited in Ireland abroad. She's had solo shows in Ullin, in West Cork and in the RHA. She told me today actually that she ticked one of the lists off her bucket list in getting one of her films to New York to a film festival. And she also is a powerhouse of a woman behind Bear Arts Festival. But on a personal level, I'm very, very privileged to have her as a friend. And even though we don't get to meet that often, she always meets me with love and support and a real, you got this girl, go girl. Absolutely. So I am delighted and really, really appreciate the fact that she has come all the way up today with a little bit of car trouble thrown in, which didn't that matter, all the way up today to be here by my side, so thank you. So I'm going to hand over now, and that's my job done.
Thanks very much, that's a gorgeous introduction, and I have to say, we met in 2014, and there was 4 of us in a group actually that were best friends right through the whole thing, and Sarah was a great support to me because her academic knowledge, her computer knowledge, because I'm not a great computer person. I mean, I learned loads from Sarah because she's just a powerhouse herself.
We dragged each other through.
We did, and I'm actually, this is extraordinary. This is her first solo exhibition, and I've been following Sarah, her work, because we do discuss it when we do meet up, and it's amazing to see this absolutely fantastic show here today, Sarah. So you should be very proud because it's really very, very strong. And I love the fact that she was telling me the other day that when she did go on her hospital visits, that her mother would always bring a colouring book and colours with her.
Yeah.
And she loved that, and I think that's simple act sparked a lifelong passion for the creative side of Sarah, I think, and we're here today with this body of work, it's just amazing. So, and I'm excited for you all to experience the depth and tenderness and strength of her work as you walk around, because it is extraordinary. So I came across, because Louise Bourgeois is one of our favourite artists, and this book down here, titled Ode to Childhood, was inspired by Louise Bourgeois. So I think this quote says, "Art is a guarantee of sanity." So Sarah's work holds the same power. It is honest, healing, and deeply human. It speaks from the heart and makes space for others to feel seen. So I think that's so important, Sarah, and you've done beautiful job on all of this. So Tethered. So Tethered is a very personal body of work, and the title speaks to something we all experience. The idea that we're tied to our childhood in ways that don't always show on the outside. This work explores memories, scars, and feelings we carry from those early years, especially the things that shape how we see ourselves. So for Sarah, this includes her treatment as a child for a visible birthmark, and how that shaped her sense of identity, difference, and self-acceptance. Tethered is an exploration of what we carry from childhood, the memories, the emotions, the marks, both seen and unseen. Sarah believes we are all tied to our early experiences in some way, and this body of work begins with her own. Viewed to the lens, the word tethered becomes more than a title. It becomes a space for reflection on what holds us emotionally, socially, or spiritually, and whether those bonds can be loosened, transformed, or honoured. This work invites us to think about what stays with us, the joyful and the painful, and how our past continues to live in our bodies, our stories, and our reflection in the mirror. It is brave work, Sarah. It's very brave, and I love it. And it's tender too. By sharing her own story, her own personal history, Sarah opens up space for others to reflect on theirs, especially around the quiet things we don't always talk about. Feeling different, being seen, or being misunderstood. Drawing on the impact of Sarah's own childhood medical treatment, the presence of a visible birthmark, and the small but enduring weight of being perceived as different. She brings together fabric, text, and thread to tell a story of identity, vulnerability, and survival. Through stitched calico images, printed letters from doctors, dresses, suitcases, bandages, and a two-sided quilt, the work speaks to the layers of memory we hold in our bodies. One side of the quilt reveals, as we see here, reveals the textures of our childhood and other hints of what lies beneath. At its core, Tethered is about more than personal memory. It's about how early experiences shape the way we see ourselves. It is about visibility, difference, and the silent weight of what goes on unsaid. I think Sarah also seeks to raise awareness around birthmarks and the experience of growing up marked, not just by the skin, but by words, stares, interventions, and assumptions. And yet this is also a work of connection. In sharing her story, she creates space for others to reflect on their own, to honour the child they once were, and the quiet resilience that has followed them into the present. I actually came across, to finish off just very briefly, another quote. Don't know actually who wrote it, it's unknown, but it says, "There is a child in the dark who puts out her hand to comfort you." Tethered is that hand, a gesture of memory, of healing, and of being seen. So well done, Sarah. Yeah.
Thank you. I spoke to Mary on, what was it, Wednesday night, and we were talking about what we were going to say and stuff, and then I sent her a text after going, she has no idea how many of those things really hit the nail on the head of the words that she was saying, and she hadn't seen the work yet. She had seen the, videos and photographs and stuff, but hadn't actually been in the space with it. So thank you. Big sigh of relief now. I'll be around for a while. If anybody has questions, I'm happy to talk about techniques or histories or stories or whatever. And yeah, there's loads of wine there, so please just relax and enjoy now that I've done my bit. Okay. And I have a glass of wine, please.
Red or white? exactly.
Yeah.
Because
You should get in first.
we have friends who live in there, and their parents got compulsory house. If you put it to a brand new house in there, all the money comes.
And are they happy? Is it good? Yeah, great. Is it going through a golf course as well or something?
No,
No.
that's.
There you go, just put something on the background.